target, potentially Combs is. Happy to get your perspective on this. Brian, thanks so much for coming on. Pleasure to meet you. So I got to just get your overall take on what happened here. I will tell you, first of all, we've talked about before the air, we've done stories on Diddy. I was maybe not one of the people that was that shocked when this came down because we were reporting on lawsuits where he was accused of sex trafficking and sexual assault. But to see what happened the other day, what was your reaction to it?
I was shocked. They didn't just come heavy; they came nuclear. Seeing the kind of federal response you saw at the execution of those warrants was stunning. It looked like they were hitting El Chapo's house when I saw it on the news, and I had the same reaction. I mean, I had been looking at it and hearing the allegations and studying some of the lawsuits, but I never thought it would rise to the level of federal intervention, particularly at that level. Stunned, and my initial thoughts were twofold. One is that they're very close to indicting somebody, or two, they had some really hard intel that told them they had to move quickly so they could discover evidence that their information was indicating was either located at one of these residents, but it was stunning in terms of the swiftness and the breadth of it, I must tell you.
Well, listen, I wanted your perspective too, because fresh off the presses late yesterday, Diddy's attorney, he's now being represented by Aaron Dyer, released a very long statement on the rapper's behalf. As a defense attorney,
By the way, Kelvin Haynes, thank you for the 50. He says, people don't mention but Diddy's connected to the owner of Zeus, and they paid for his last party. There's rumors that all of the women there are escorts. Really? So are you tying Lemuel Plummer in this? And Smokey Boat with 5 says, did you hear the leaked audio of Meek allegedly getting clapped? No Diddy, bro. Like, literally, no Diddy.
Curious your perspective on it. So it says, quote, yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained, but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs, and is nothing more.
We're gonna pause this to go to. So that's Meek's lawyer, and he's gonna give some insight. But we have a former federal FBI agent who's gonna comment as well, and apparently, they say that no doubt Diddy's gonna face charges. So it's not even like, oh, will there be charges?
More evidence may come out. Some I do, some I don't. But we do have an extradition treaty with them. Right now, though, because of the public nature of this, I have a very hard time believing that a country would allow his plane to land with him on it in their country. They don't have to let him land if they don't want to. And so I think that it would be very difficult for him to be able to land in an inhospitable country simply because they don't want him. We do have extradition treaties with more countries than I think people would think. And typically, they will send folks back to us as long as we take the death penalty off of the table. And I don't believe that this is a death penalty case. It's Southern District of New York. And so I believe that whether we have an extradition treaty or not with whatever country he may or may not go to,
so she's